some of my feelings right now. How do you get to learn about us? Because some of the things that you're saying in my life experience, I really get it. And I'm not saying that the program isn't going to help me, but the telling of that particular thing may not be something I need that I really do because I
Explain. Talk. Say more about that.
Just case in point, right now, I I get it in all of my being that if somebody, two things I'm getting at once. I know I have a gift of discernment. I do know when you're bullshitting me or you're jacking with my truth. Sometimes I don't necessarily know how to tell you that, but I know that that's happening. I'm not naive to my feelings in that respect. And all of my life experiences have gotten me to here to understand that I know what boundaries really look like, how they apply to me, and how I got to administer them to somebody. Now, what I want to conquer in that is sometimes my fear of setting that boundary. That can be a stopping point for me because I hear my mother's shoes on my feet telling me that things are okay. Don't worry about it. You know, the minimization skills that stuff, that her generation had to endure for real.
Yeah.
So in there is the question is how do you get to know us so that you know where we are or where I am in your desire to teach me things?
I would encourage you, write it somewhere, that feeling that you're feeling, and then suspend it for a minute and say, let me just go through the process.
Okay.
Let me go through the process.
Right.
Because usually there's two things that I see with people I work with. One, I think I've dealt with this. And I say, great. Run it through the system.
Right.
Because when we talk about weeds,
Right.
if there's any roots still left in there, you'll see it. The other thing is, for those areas that we have come through, oftentimes we don't understand what helped us heal from it so that we can replicate it.
Right.
If that worked, do it again then with all the other stuff that you got going on.
Right.
Well, I don't know why it worked, but that situation worked and I felt free from that.
I feel comfortable in times when I know that we are you're preaching to the choir. Can I stop you? Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I want to get to.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to feel like that there's a lecture period going on in this at all. Because that's not going to teach me anything.
Yeah.
I want to be able.
We
to
want
learn.
that dialogue.
It should be a conversation.
That's right. The dialogue.
Because part of this is we're peers.
Right.
This is heal together. I haven't arrived. I got issues every day, the things that come up. The other part of this is we're talking about learning how to lead in community. That's the residual benefits of doing your healing, that you're better prepared. And part of this is about being in community. Part of this is about learning how to be in community. How can you be yourself and be in places with people that don't share the same values and identical values?
And don't get lost,
And so part of this is teamwork. This just happens to be my assignment. Sharing these tools with you, guiding you through using them. But part of this is you need to get what you need to get out of being here.
Right.
And if you don't, then what I will be questioning with you, and this process will question with you is it fear, is it guilt, or insecurities? Because some people come and think, I can't talk to you, and you're so this. Those are your insecurities, not mine. If I'm here and you don't take the opportunity to get what you need from this experience, that is another example of how our damage,
how gripping it is.
It becomes, we end up not doing the things that are in our best interest. That's the craziness of addiction.
Sure.
We'll do stuff that's in our opposite to our own best interest. When we know, when we in our right mind, wait a minute, this is what I needed. Okay, why didn't you get it? Was it fear? Was it guilt? Or was it insecurity?
Right, and I think that is important, to in every setting like this, to understand that everything this is a safe space to say what you need to say, how you need to say it, to get the benefit of being here.
And you'll be learning that. You'll be learning how to do that better. Because part of this, I teach it sometimes, and it's called, when I do a brief with communities, I call it how to have healing conversations. part of this is learning how to be honest.
Right.
How do you have honest conversations
Mhm.
and get over the feelings of fear and guilt and insecurity and having honest conversations? Because if
We
you
were just
feel
talking about
guilty
Yes,
about
we
being
were.
honest with who you are, isn't that the problem we have?
Yes.
Isn't that all the problem?
Right,
Yes.
I can't be honest with you. Now, sometimes you can't be honest because who you are is a hot mess.
Right.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
The parts that's on that mirror is a hot mess, and you don't want folks to know you're a hot mess.
Yeah.
But what if we could be honest? Yep, I'm a hot mess. Here's my hot mess. I might be a hot mess tomorrow too.
In all of this, though, I want you, because some of this, just right now, this is just preliminarily, but I don't want to come into this feeling, you know, I know we're peers.
Mhm.
I want you to be able to know me as we go along and ask me some questions about what I've done, where I've been, without necessarily sharing in the conversation. You know?
So let's talk about social tech.
Okay.
Do you know what you want me to know? What you would like for me to know about you?
Not at all. Not by social tech.
Do you know what you would like for me to know about you?
Okay.
So are you telling me that you want me to read your mind and guess the stuff you want?
No.
So if you know what you want to
Okay.
share with me about you,
Then share it. Okay. Feel you.
does that make
Duly
sense?
noted. Absolutely.
Do those
Oh,
values
photo shit.
do those values line
Yeah, I
up?
really
Let's-
do.
let's
Well, let me
first-
share.
Do those values line up?
Yeah.
Do those values sound sustainable?
Mhm.
Do you see how easy that was when we get honest? Because you know how to be honest.
Yeah.
We really do. It's the stuff that
The
stops
fear,
us from actually doing that
Yeah.
that is what we're working on.
Yeah. Okay.
See how that worked?
Yeah.
How do you imagine that would work in life if we learned how to do that? Because you just
Somebody
said,
what I want them to know.
wouldn't you? And would it matter whether they liked it or didn't like it?
No.
No, it
I
wouldn't,
want-
would
I
it?
want you to know.
I just wouldn't,
I
would
want
it?
you to know that I've done L.
You might be
And I
concerned.
want you to see my great.
I want to see it too, because I'm nosy. I want to know what folk doing, because I'm looking for the points of connection in life, like for real.
Right.
Does that make sense to you? Did you understand that clearly, and you can transfer that now to other areas of your life? Because part of this being honest, that's your assignment this month, is about when have you not been? I wanted you to
plenty of
know,
times.
but see what happens is we want it, and then we say that somebody else should do it. What I want you to do, LaRahna, is I want you to figure out what stuff you'd like to know about me, and you'd have to read my mind to do that. But I want you to do that because I really am scared to say, here's what I want you to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's, now I have the right to say I don't want to know.
Right.
I don't
Correct.
want to hear it.
Right.
And respecting that right is part of that balance too, because it probably doesn't conflict with your values. Your values might say, no one's obligated to listen just because I want to tell it. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
I want people to be honest with me. And if she honestly don't want to hear it, I'd want to know that too. Wouldn't you want that to be?
I want to. Maybe my feelings might get hurt, but
You might feel disappointed.
Okay.
You
Okay.
might feel
use some descriptive words instead of these blanket ones.
you might feel disappointed because I really wanted to share with her. And now I'm disappointed because she don't want to hear
Okay,
that.
would my healing process say, well, let me say that. Yeah, no, I can tell you don't want to hear this, but I really wanted to tell you.
Wouldn't that be honest?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be
It would
honest?
It would be honest.
You see how those pieces fit
And this is
together?
also
Just
about
slight
accountability
tweaking.
to me and to the integrity of this group, for me to be honest, because that you did call me out on a space, and I appreciate that. Just what the fuck you want to say?
Right.
You know, this is something that you want to do. You want to tell me about you. Then get to spilling.
Because what if you lived your life that way?
Right.
I mean, like literally like today. What if you started living your life that way? What if you stopped doing the stuff you didn't want to do? What if you stopped not saying the stuff you really wanted to say? Wouldn't it let you see where your damaged parts were?
Exactly.
It would let you see it clear.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be the quickest way to see where your
Yes.
is that what I really? Oh, geez.
Have
Ooh,
experience.
yes, I want to say it. Ooh, but that don't feel loving.
It doesn't
Ooh,
feel
this is a part of me that doesn't feel loving. But my honest thing want to say it. Now choose. Are you gonna say it? Ooh, that don't feel loving. So I know that's my damage getting ready to speak. And if it's my damage getting ready to speak, that is the equivalent of me reaching for my drug of choice. It is the equivalent.
Exactly. It is.
And I believe it's as strong as if it's crack, if it's heroin, if it's alcohol. I believe it's as strong. It is addiction.
Not more.
Because it's
you don't
legal.
ever hear-
Won't
you
nobody
don't-
say
you
that's
ever
not.
Stop hearing that voice.
Right.
All of these things that make us
And
stop
those
being
are
all the
things
things
that we
are.
don't characterize as wrong, as drugs.
Mhm.
So they under the radar. They legal.
Mhm.
It ain't against the law
Mhm.
to let my ego lead in some of the choices.
Right.
The fake
I
and the
won't get
funk.
arrested for it. You know, it's all right.
But
And
what
somebody,
if?
nobody may get hurt because I unleashed myself in that
Wrong,
manner.
wrong, absolutely
Somebody, I'm
wrong.
always get
Absolutely
hurt.
wrong. If it goes against your value system,
Okay.
Mhm.
it is trauma. The definition of trauma.
Mhm.
Anything, whether you do it or somebody else does it, that conflicts with your values, your held values. Doesn't matter whether your values are good or not, just or not, sustainable or not. If anything goes against your values, it is trauma. So you may not see it hurt somebody on the outside, but who has it hurt?
Mhm.
You.
Right.
You are the abuser. There is and trauma is cumulative.
Mhm.
There's micro traumas, there's major traumas, but it all adds up. So we think we're not hurting nobody.
Mhm.
I'ma match their energy
Mhm.
in whatever expression that comes in, because we have a lot of different expressions.
Mhm.
Give you what you gave me.
Right.
Part of that is I'm getting ready to take some poison. Because if I do it to you, and I know it was wrong because you did it to me and I felt it was wrong, if I do it to you, that's like saying, you damaged me, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this poison because you damaged me, so I'm going to drink this poison. Does that sound logical to you?
Not at all.
When we are not in our right mind, we do those behaviors.
Right.